Hi there, I care and you matter. I'm Shannon and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to do a quick let's chat about some anxiety that I had about a month ago. And maybe not surprisingly, it coincided with our youngest son, I don't want to say graduating, completing high school and actually being home for the summer. Truth be told, I have this anxiety. I've had this anxiety and it's quite overwhelming every year around the end of the school year. And you would think that it would get better because I always manage to muddle through the summer. But why is it so overwhelming and why do I have the anxiety? Mark has a profound amount of special needs. He's a great kid, but his special needs can be incredibly overwhelming. I am his primary caregiver. I have no respite. That's partly my fault. I could try to get some respite help through the state where I live. However, that alone feels like a crap ton of work and more anxiety that I just can't take on. And so it just helps me. No, it doesn't help me necessarily. It just seems easier for me to just tackle it myself. So I want to jump in today to just talk about some specific steps I did to address that anxiety, and it might help other parents of children who have special needs, but I think it can be beneficial for everyone because I think the steps that I took are applicable to a lot of different situations and hopefully can diffuse anxiety for some of you. So I hope you enjoy or at least gain some good things from my anxiety and what I did subsequently. So, first of all, I let myself feel it. I didn't dismiss it. I didn't try to rationalize it away, thinking that it wasn't real because it absolutely was real. And I think I allowed myself maybe to feel it a little bit too much before I actually started taking action. So, I guess my first step would be recognize that it's there, recognize that it's real so that you can actually take steps to mitigate it, to minimize it, to lessen it. And so what did I do? I tried to figure out what exactly did I have anxiety about. And for me it was going to be his constant and incessant need for what I do now. Can I help? I bored. He just needs direction constantly. He can't manage himself, and God bless him, he wants to do it a lot and he really wants to be independent, but he has long-term and short-term memory loss, and he has a very low IQ, so he doesn't understand consequences and isn't able to think through a task on his own. Again, he's a bundle of energy. He also has ADD, ADHD. So he needs to be doing something constantly, and I work from home and my husband works, and we have another son who's doing online summer school in between quarters and years at the university, and it's like, okay, I got to figure out how to manage this kid 24/7 in ways that he can actually be doing something that's not going to absolutely drive me insane, because I've been there a couple times where it felt like it. So I decided, okay, there's a lot that he can't do. However, I decided to focus on the cans. What can Mark do? And I just made a list. So what did I do? I dove into my anxiety. What was I scared of? I was scared of trying to entertain this kid 24/7 without driving myself insane. And so that helped. While that was overwhelming to think about, it's scary to look what you fear and what you worry about dead in the eyes. But you know what? Ignorance is not bliss, and it just creates more self-punishment, I would say, more worry, more anxiety, and I didn't want that. So I made a list of what he could do. Mark can color. Mark can trace. Mark can watch TV, though I don't want him watching TV 24/7. It creates brain rot for him and makes the memory even worse. He does have limited time on a cell phone so that he can text friends and keep some connection. Now, mind you, He can't actually text. He uses predictive text, where he'll type one or two letters and it will pop up with what the AI or the computer thinks he wants to say, and he just clicks it. But for him, that feels like a connection to friends from school, and that's meaningful. So he can do that. He likes to look at books. He can eat. He loves to eat. And that kid I can't get that kid to gain an ounce. Oh my goodness, that kid. Amazing, amazing metabolism. So anyway, I made a list of all these things, and I'm going to put up a screenshot of what I did up here on the screen so you can see. I figured out that he can sleep in as much as he wants. I don't care. But his lunch would always be on the table at 11 o'clock so that he could just get up and independently eat it. And I made this, and I asked Mark ahead of time, do you like lists with pictures, or do you want a schedule in the form of a clock? And from the example you see up here, you'll see I used a clock. And I printed this 3 different times, put it in 3 different areas of his room. So, and before his last day of school, we went over, okay, what does this mean? How is he going to spend his days? And he actually, again, God bless him, got really excited because this helped him feel like he gets to be independent. And I specifically included some choice time for him twice a day so he could choose what to do during that time period within those different categories. I didn't care. So I'm not saying that every single day is this rigid for him, but what I am saying is, oh, why didn't I do this sooner? There is no question. If he's bored, he looks at the schedule. And for example, when TV time is over, oh well, he gets to look forward to it tomorrow, and now he gets to do something else. So it took away a lot of the work from me. So I don't have to figure out things for him to do every single day. It's done. I did the hard work. I did the heavy lifting at the beginning of the summer. And I can't tell you what a tremendous gift this has been for me. Granted, I still have to make a separate meal for him, every single day. But that's fine. I can automate that to some degree. I still have to manage the hiccups in the schedule, and that's okay because that's not constant. It's not all the time. But what I did do is create a way for Mark to have some autonomy and to have some true independence and choice within the constraints that I've created for him, the things I know he can successfully do, because I've always promised him I will never knowingly put him in a position where he's going to fail. I will only put him in positions where I think he has the ability and the capability and the probability of succeeding. And I think that that's a lesson for all of us when we are willing to honestly look at what's creating our anxiety. And I'll be honest, sometimes there isn't a reason. A lot of us just struggle with anxiety and we can't pinpoint it. But again, there are another subset of us, myself included. I can suffer from both forms of anxiety. There can be a true source that I can pinpoint. Other times it can just be a general feeling. Because you know what? We're biological beings and we are affected by things such as hormones and everything else. But when we can pinpoint the reason for our anxiety or worry, if we're willing to honestly stare it down and address it, then we're just that much closer to maybe not fixing it, but making it better. And you know what? I'll take mitigating and minimizing something over doing nothing any day of the week. So thanks for listening, watching me, and just giving me a platform to rant and share a little bit about what I've been going through. And I hope it helps you. Until the next video, I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.